172, the power figure, or Nkisi Nkandi, made by the Congo peoples of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the DRC, made in the late 19th century out of wood and metal. This is where the Democratic Republic of the Congo is. And the word Nkisi means a vessel that can hold powerful materials or medicine. The vessel is often, as you see here, a male figure, but I think it can also be a female figure, or it can be, it can be like an animal figure. I've seen some alligators that are Nkisi Nkandi, and the word Nkandi means to hunt. We'll start with form on this. The form of our piece here on the left is that it is a male. He is leaning forward from the hips. He has his hands on his hips. He has an abdominal cavity that you see here. And he also has metal pieces pounded into his body. And although that we don't have one on ours, an Nkisi Nkandi can have a covering of a glass or mirror over this abdominal opening. In terms of content, the hands on the hips for our Nkisi Nkandi shows that the Nkisi is acting like as it should, as a powerful vessel that is meant to attack, and so he is ready to defend or attack as needed. And you can see the same here in this other Nkisi Nkandi, his hand up, but this other hand, has got some movement going on, but definitely in the attack formation. The function of Nkisi Nkandi is that they are for taking oaths, for healing, for destroying or demolishing enemies, people, witches, spirits, and they are for punishing wrongdoers. So the use of them as an oath keeper is, you can see it on this one on the left, that you can tie cloth around the Nkisi Nkandi into a knot, and that indicates an oath has been taken. But also it's true that when the metal is pounded in, that can also mean an oath as well. So if you're making an agreement with somebody, you can go to an Nganga who has an Nkisi Nkandi, and that's where you can make your agreement, rather than, we're used to like paper contracts. So an Nganga is someone who has one of these figures that they have had sculpted by someone else. And when it is sculpted, often out of wood, I think only out of wood actually is all I've seen, the abdominal cavity is created. So an opening in the center of the Nkisi Nkandi is carved out. And then the Nganga, who is kind of like a pharmacist or a doctor, based on the needs of this Nkisi Nkandi, that person, the Nganga, determines what goes into the abdomen of the sculpture. So you, the customer, don't get to know what is in the abdomen, but we think that it's herbs, cloth, metal, leaves, roots, feathers, stones, ashes, whatever the Nganga decides is needed to make the Nkisi Nkandi powerful, and to help with, as a prescription for whatever ails the customer. And once the medicine is placed inside the abdomen of the Nkisi Nkandi, then it can be activated by the placement of metal shards or nails in the wooden figure, and the wooden sculpture. So an Nkisi Nkandi is used by many, many people. I mean, the Nganga holds it and has the power of it, but the activating it with a metal shard can be done many, many times. And so kind of the more metal shards you see on an Nkisi Nkandi, perhaps the more powerful that one is, because it's, being used by people and trusted over and over again. Okay, to context now. Christian missionaries that went into the Congo did not see Nkisi Nkandi as going along with Christianity, and so they destroyed many of them, and then they removed some of them to European and American museums. This Nkisi and Kandi here is at the Seattle Art Museum. Actually, it's very big. It's a couple feet, 2.5 feet tall. So they were removed, they were destroyed, and this particular one is from the Brooklyn Museum, and new research on it shows that probably the Nganga took off the powerful pieces of this Nkisi and Kandi so that when the Europeans stole it, they would not have use of the power that Nkisi and Kandi might have had before. So, so kind of an interesting twist there. All right, this is the power figure, or the Nkisi and Kandi, made by the Congo peoples of the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the late 19th century out of wood and metal.